So, log number 03. Look at you, standing right where the goddamn Namib Desert decides to strangle the Atlantic Ocean. You've got salt crusting your eyes, sand in your lungs, and a look of pure, unadulterated panic that I find, well, let's call it endearing. Welcome to the Skeleton Coast, Namibia, or as the Portuguese sailors used to call it, as Portas do Inferno, the gates of hell. You think that ultimate survival weekend in the mountains prepared you for this? Please. Out here, nature doesn't just want to kill you, it wants to turn you into a permanent piece of the scenery, a monument to stupidity. Look around. Those aren't just rocks, those are the ribs of ships that were much tougher than you, ground into dust by a current that doesn't care about your will to live. You're standing in a masterpiece of irony, surrounded by billions of gallons of water, yet your tongue is currently sticking to the roof of your mouth like a piece of dry sandpaper. Talk about a shitty twist of fate. Welcome to Rank 1, the Castaway. You're cold, you're wet, and your ego is currently being shattered faster than a wooden hull on these rocks. Logic check. Most idiots see this thick white fog and think, oh, thank God, it's cool. I won't overheat. Bullshit. Dead wrong. This is the Benguela current's favorite trick. It's called sea smoke. It's a wall of salt and moisture that tricks your brain into thinking you're hydrated while it's actually stripping the heat from your core at 20 times the speed of dry air. You're not chilly, genius. You're entering the first stage of convective heat loss. In 10 minutes, your fingers, the ones currently fumbling with those useless wet matches, will have the dexterity of frozen goddamn carrots. So, here is the first entry in your new reality. The ocean is a liar, the desert is a thief, and the fog is the shroud for your funeral. Don't run into the dunes, you'll just die tired. And for the love of God, don't drink the seawater unless you want your brain to shrink like a raisin. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape. Look at your lips. Go ahead, touch them. They're white, cracked, and caked in a fine, bitter powder. That's not frost, genius. That's salt. Most amateurs look at the Atlantic and think, hydration. But out here, the ocean is just a giant liquid goddamn trap. Salt water is an osmotic thief. You drink a cup of this shit, and your body has to give up 3 cups of its own precious water just to flush out the salt. You're not drinking, you're taking out a loan with 1,000% interest rate. And the mist? It's actually worse. It's a saline aerosol. Every breath you take is pulling more salt into your lungs, drying you out from the inside. Welcome to Rank 2, the salt trap. You're thirsty, you're dizzy, and your brain is already starting to feel like a dried-out sponge. It's a shitty situation, I know, but whining won't fix your electrolytes. Now move your ass. You see that? Over there? Half buried in the sand? Those aren't tree branches. That's the rib cage of a blue whale, nature's version of a Gothic cathedral, or a tomb, depending on how fast you work. Welcome to Rank 3, the skeleton shelter. In this wind, a shipwreck is too drafty, and a dune is too exposed. You need something solid. You need the bone. Why? Because bone doesn't rot like wood, and it doesn't conduct the cold like metal. Drag those rusted hull plates from the wreck and prop them against the ribs. Create a windbreak. If you stay in the open, the Benguela wind will peel the heat off your skin like an orange. You don't need to be warm yet. You just need to stop the wind from stealing the last bit of life you have left. Dig in, deep. The sand is your only blanket tonight, even if it feels like the whole goddamn beach is trying to bury you alive. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape. Wake up. It's dawn, but don't expect to see the sun. Out here, the sun is just a myth hidden behind a goddamn wall of gray. You're shivering, your tongue feels like a piece of salted leather, and you're wondering how the hell you're still alive. Welcome to Rank 4, the Fog Harvester. You're surrounded by billions of gallons of salt water you can't drink, while the air itself is 80% humidity. It's a cruel joke, isn't it? But look at the rusted mesh on that shipwreck, or that tattered piece of sailcloth caught on a whale rib. See those tiny glistening beads of moisture? That's your gold. Don't lick the metal, unless you want a mouthful of rust and tetanus. Use a scrap of plastic or a piece of treated canvas. Angle it. Let the benguela mist condense and crawl down the fabric into a container. It's slow. It's agonizing. It tastes like salt and old canvas. But it's the only thing keeping your kidneys from shutting down. Every drop is a goddamn miracle. Drink it like it's the finest wine in Paris. Now look behind you. See those two glowing dots in the mist? No, it's not a ghost. It's a black-backed jackal, and he's not alone. Welcome to Rank 5, the Jackal's Shadow. Out here, the jackals and the hyenas are the landlords, and you're just a tenant who's behind on rent. They aren't big enough to take you down in a fair fight, but they're smart enough to wait until you're too exhausted to swing a stick. They'll shadow you for miles, just a silent blur in the fog, waiting for you to trip, waiting for you to close your eyes. Don't show them your back, and for the love of God, keep that bonfire burning. If they smell your fear, or worse, your infection, they'll be on you before you can even scream. It's a shitty way to spend the night, staring into the gray, wondering which shadow is going to bite first. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape. It's noon, and the fog is finally lifting, but don't start celebrating yet. The sea smoke is gone, replaced by a heat that feels like a goddamn physical weight on your shoulders. You're moving inland now, climbing the first of the Great Dunes. Every step up is half a step back in this loose, burning sand. Welcome to Rank 6, the Mirage of Hope. Logic check. See that shimmering line on the horizon? Looks like a cool blue lake, doesn't it? Maybe even a few palm trees. Scuff. Don't you dare run for it. That's just the desert playing with the last few neurons you have left. It's light refraction, hot air bending the sky. If you chase that shimmer, you'll be dead before the sun hits the dune's peak. Your brain is literally cooking inside your skull, and it's trying to bribe you with a fantasy just to keep you moving until you drop. Stay on the edge where the sand meets the gravel plains. Now, look at this heap of twisted red metal. This used to be a German freighter before the Benguela current decided to tear it a new one. Welcome to Rank 7, the Iron Graveyard. Inside these rusted holes, it's a goddamn furnace. But it's also a treasure chest. You're looking for three things: glass, copper, and shade. But watch your step. This iron is so brittle it'll snap like a dry biscuit. One wrong move and you're falling through a deck into a pit of jagged, rusted spikes. Tetanus out here isn't just a medical term, it's a death sentence. Use a piece of that jagged hull to scrape the barnacles off the other side. If you're lucky, you might find a pocket of trapped moisture or some old copper wiring you can use for a snare. It's a piece of shit wreck, but it's the only fortress you've got. Just remember, the metal is groaning for a reason. It's tired of being here. And frankly, so am I. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape. Close your eyes, or at least squint until it hurts. You've just walked out of the dunes and into a goddamn white furnace. Welcome to Rank 8, the Salt Pan Trek. Most people think a white hell only happens in the Arctic. Wrong. This is a salt pan, a dried-up ancient lake that's now just a flat, blinding sheet of crystalline misery. The glare here is so intense it'll literally burn your retinas before you even realize you're blind. And the ground, it's a crusty, jagged lie. Every step sounds like you're walking on broken glass. It's reflecting 90% of the sun's radiation right back up at your face. You're being cooked from above and fried from below at the same goddamn time. Don't look at the horizon. Just follow your own shadow. It's the only thing in this white void that isn't trying to blind you. Wait. Look at the ground. See these deep circular craters in the hard-packed clay? Those aren't meteor impacts, genius. Those are tracks. Elephant-adapted elephants. Welcome to Rank 9, the Elephant's Path. These 6-ton bastards are the real masters of the skeleton coast. They can smell water through 3 feet of sand from miles away. Logic check. If you follow these tracks, you might find a soak, a tiny underground pocket of water they've dug up with their trunks. It'll be muddy, it'll smell like elephant, and it'll probably have a few parasites in it. But compared to that salt trap ocean, it's holy water. But keep your goddamn distance. These aren't the friendly giants you see in a circus. They're territorial, they're exhausted, and they can move silent as a ghost when they want to. If you stumble onto a bull in a bad mood, he won't just kill you. He'll turn you into a human pancake before you can even say Dumbo. Keep the wind in your face and your eyes on the horizon. We're close to the end now. I can feel the riverbed. Or maybe that's just the heat stroke talking. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape. My legs, they aren't mine anymore. I'm collapsed in this dry riverbed, and it feels like my goddamn bones have been replaced with lead. Welcome to the wall. Rank 10, the dry riverbed. Logic check. Most idiots think the hardest part of survival is the beginning. Wrong. Dead wrong. In the field, we call this the final mile syndrome. Your brain sees a potential finish line and it just quits. Your adrenaline levels hit the floor, and suddenly every injury, every salt burn, and every ounce of fatigue hits you like a goddamn freight train. You're lying in a graveyard of ancient silt, and the only thing moving is the heat haze dancing off the rocks. Whoa, my vision is tunneling. Everything is blurring into a hazy mess of white heat and orange sand. This isn't just exhaustion, it's severe electrolyte imbalance. I've been sipping salt mist and elephant well water for days. My brain is literally starting to swell inside my skull. If I don't get off this goddamn beach in the next hour, I'm going into a seizure. It's a shitty way to go after coming this far. Do you hear that? That's not the wind. That's a rhythmic, mechanical growl. Look, way out on the gravel plain, a plume of dust. That's not a dust devil, that's a 4x4, a goddamn safari patrol. You gonna scream and wave your arms? Forget it. Between the engine noise and the roar of the desert wind, you're a ghost. To a guy a mile away, you're just another shifting shadow on the dunes. I need a high-contrast signal. Now. The signal mirror. I'm angling the glass toward that white-hot sun. Flash. 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 Come on, you son of a bitch, look this way. He's slowing down. The dust cloud is turning. He sees the strobe. You know, people talk about conquering the skeleton coast. That's absolute bullshit. You don't conquer this place, you just survive it. The desert didn't lose today, it just got bored of trying to kill me. My hands are shaking too much to hold the frame. Everything is going white. I'm coming home. Stay smart, or become part of the landscape.